Yo, Q, what up? Yo, Q,
Man, I'm keeping it real. What up, Duan?
Welcome
Let's get it.
to Not Just Music, where we keep it real and honest.
Always.
My mama praying, telling me, Q, you need to chill. They can't respect the truth from just honest.
Alright. What's going on, everybody? Another Thursday. Not Just Music Podcast. Your boy Duan Marino. Got Quincy Murdoch in the building as always. How's everything?
Same old, same old. You know how that go. Not Just Music Podcast. We back again to inform, educate, and let them know the importance of black and just the importance of life.
And you know how we do. And this place, I'm always talking. As I told you, I'm always gonna talk about something black.
Gotta have the black history.
Black history stuff. I love
touching.
learning. I love putting you all on.
Last couple episodes been woo.
Definitely
The history.
Government, people in government roles, and
Election is coming.
yes,
So it's important.
so it's good to talk about these cases so we can have knowledge and also learn that we can do and make a difference in our cities where we're at. I mean, it doesn't matter where you're at. I'm speaking from where we are. Charlotte. I'm from Charlotte. Q's from Statesville. So you know, it's a big window of opportunity to get into these things and help your city. Please do something to help your city, wherever you're at. It's always something to do to improve what we have. I'm gonna kind of pick up slightly from where we were going. I was already speaking on Harvey B. Gantt. I spoke on V. Lyles. They are very known for being black mayors, first black mayors of the city of Charlotte. I want to move on and also give props to somebody else. Let me scroll down to his name. His name is Rodney Monroe. Rodney Monroe is CMPD's first black police chief. He made history in Charlotte in 2008 when he became the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department's first black police chief. Monroe was appointed after serving as police chief in Macon, Georgia and Richmond, Virginia. He's not a Charlotte native, but again, he made it happen in the city of Charlotte. After serving in the position for 7 years, Monroe retired in 2015. Monroe retired having protected and served for nearly 40 years.
I was gonna ask, was he still in there? You ready?
Yeah, he did 40-year bid in his time. Well, he did 40 years in all of his time in working as an officer. In his time as a CMPD chief, he led the force during a period of steady crime reduction, including the lowest number of homicides on record, which is rare. And the city of Charlotte was known for
Around that time too,
a lot of deaths, you know. Yeah. But again, let's keep moving. I got another one I'm gonna see here. Next is Ray Booton, or Bhutan. That might be his name. Booton or Bhutan. Or Booton, I think it is going to be. Ray Booton is the Charlotte's first black police officer. Ray Booton was joined. Okay. They ain't going to let me read this. Y'all ain't trying to let me be great. Ray Booton joined what is now known as Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department in 1946 after serving in World War II. Booton was one of 8 black officers who joined the force and was one of the first black police officers to ever walk the beat in Charlotte. 4 years after joining the police department, he left and went to become a minister, which I wonder, you know. Booton died in 2009. We lived a long time. Booton at the age of 89. Booton was the last surviving member of those original 8 officers who joined the force. So, shout out to him as well. That's like I say, I'm sticking within these government roles, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Hear what I'm saying? Something that's dealing with the government, dealing with the city. There could be forces, you could be a force even in police officers. If that's what you choose to be. I'm not hating on nobody because there's some good police officers out here. Not all y'all dirty, not all y'all bad. Mm-hmm. But again, there's another way to get yourself into the seat of city council.
And to make a change.
Make work. Again.
But a lot of nowadays, a lot of the good officers, they try to push out of the branch, unfortunately. Like, with the Biggie. Remember the dude was trying to solve Biggie case? Mm-hmm. And they didn't want that to be disclosed, and they kicked him, fired him. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of shadiness going on in the police force, and
definitely.
This one,
and here's another situation that I wanted to bring up. Me being that I live in Rock Hill, South Carolina, I found this out very recently, and I wanted to bring this up. Of course, as feeling as if in like, okay, what happens in the city of Rock Hill? I mean, it's not much. It's South Carolina can't be that much going on down there, and actually a lot of stuff has actually happened. A lot of historical moments have taken place in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So one of them being, they call this the Friendship 9, Rock Hill sit-in movement. Of course, a lot of us were doing sit-ins, along the years, especially in the 60s. But on this day, on January 31st, 1961, a group of 9 students was arrested after staging a sit-in at a segregated lunch counter at McCrory's Five and Dime store on Main Street in Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is about maybe less than 5 minutes from my house. The Friendship 9 refused to bail out of jail, instead serving 30 days of hard labor to draw attention to the cause of integration. Look how deep that. Let's pause there for a minute.
Wow.
Would you spend 30 days in jail, bro, for the cause?
I wouldn't even spend one.
Would you spend 30 days?
Let me let you finish.
Would you spend 30 days in jail for the cause of black people to make things better or to make a point for the situation of who black people are?
Back then?
Yeah, back then.
Yeah, back then I would. Now probably not, because most black people don't even believe in it themselves. Like, it's sad. You know what I'm saying? You have to. That's a big sacrifice nowadays. You know, like
definitely.
Yeah, back then they were more appreciative, and it was. I'm not down in the community now, but we live, bro. We know. You know what I'm saying? The morals and respect just went down. Yeah,
it's all law. Yeah. The group was the first group of students to ever refuse to pay bail. According to the Friendship 9's website, I need to check that out. The organization says the group decided to do this because it was costing $100 or more to bail African American students out of jail after getting arrested for sitting at white-only counters.
I got one after you finish.
The decision to be taken to jail was done both to make a statement and to save civil rights groups money. The organization says the group has since been named the Friendship 9 or Friendship 9, as 8 of the 9 were students at Friendship Junior College. So again, shout out to the Friendship 9. I'm gonna pull those names up and find who they were, because I would love to know, and I'm gonna bring that and do. We're gonna have to pull that in a homicide or something like that, maybe in a single or in a solo, however. But again, appreciate y'all taking those stances, man. I can't thank a lot of y'all enough for doing those sit-ins to give us those chances to where we can go eat in these restaurants that we never probably would have ever been able to eat at if y'all didn't go take a chance and just go do it,
right?
And mess up the whole situation and make a point and put a stamp on it and make it approval to the where we talk about it in history these days. It's not talked about enough, but I'm talking about it now.
Right. So I want to bring up something, man, because I know we talking about a lot of creations and a lot of things, and this is part of the black too. A lot of things that we see now to like today wasn't originally planned how the originators made it, created it. They didn't want us to use it in the wrong ways. I know this is very popular right now. I want to bring up a situation of Freaknik for people that ain't saw that. So it was an annual spring break festival in Atlanta, Georgia. It was initially attended by students enrolled at historical black colleges and universities in Atlanta University Center. It began in 1983 as a small picnic in a public park near the Atlanta University Center, sponsored by the DC Metro Club for students who could not afford to return home for spring break. So I read a little bit and I watched the documentary. They created this, and what they would do is a lot of people would, sell food, sell items, and they would come up with money, from selling these things, and people would associate, get together, have a good time, music and stuff like that. That's how Freaknik came about. Fast forward, it became more of a destructive thing. They start, sexual things started attending. The whole purpose of giving kind of went out the window. The purpose of what it was started for and created for, went out the window, and it became more sexual activity driven. You get what I'm saying? And more destructive than profiting. So I say that to say this. I think the original people, the people that created these things should come out and voice their opinions and make their story more known. And maybe it'll shed another light on things that probably are looked at that wasn't looked at that way in the past. I want to ask you, do you think if they're alive, they should come out and speak out on things, especially if it's not represented in the way they intended it to be? Or should they just turn the other cheek and just be like, well, that's just how it was. Like, that's just how it go. We created it. They just took it and ran with it. Should they support it? Or should they be like, no, we didn't intend for it to be like this?
People have their own, entitled to their own thing or what they feel the Freaknik stands for.
Yeah.
Sad to say, the name stands for a lot. To be honest, it's freak.
Luke.
Think about it. It's a thing. It's a thing of it's always going to be, if you put a name on it, that's what it's gonna end up being, whatever that name is. That's branded as freak.
And originators, the ones where it started out just an innocent little picnic, came up with this name. Didn't even think about the impact of the name, how it would affect it.
And I think that's one probably the thing they probably, if they would come out and speak up and talk about it, it would be nice to know. But I think that it's such a thing that it's been taken downhill and looked at as the stamp of approval on it now is way different than what they thought it was gonna be. I think they might want to keep their hands off of it. You know what I'm saying? I really think they want to keep their hands off of it, because it's nothing wrong to say that we have these things that we could look up. I'm gonna look it up now just to see who in the world would want to actually say that it was a thing of, oh, I originated that.
And what main Freaknik?
Yeah, I mean,
you couldn't come up with another.
I mean, it's a hard.
But the way they started out doing wasn't nothing freaky
young
about it.
It has to be somebody young.
But I know they were black though. The ones that I seen the little documentary, they were black. Who created it? Mm-hmm. Black kids, college
kids. They young. Yeah, the word freak. That gives you that you gonna know that from the jump. That is the new. Let's see. A lot of the people that the problem is now is they running into this thing of with it being in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Atlanta has this thing that it's like everybody upholds what goes on in Atlanta. And it's a situation of like, okay, if you was in Atlanta at that time, you understand what Freaknik stood for. That's what I think really.
I think the name kind of threw it out. The name destroyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and that's another thing we talked about episodes ago.
Yeah.
Remember like how you brand something, think be wise. Like the name, the slogan of what you choose or something down to that.
So
like,
Spelman College. So yeah, it was conceived in March 1982, year before I was born, on Spelman College campus in a DC Metro club meeting headed by then President Shula Goodson. Shalit? No. I don't even know how to, but Goodson is the last name.
Mm-hmm.
It was sponsored by the club, which was composed by students from Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. The D.C. Metro Club intended for it to be challenged to the California Club for the largest end of the school year party. Goodson suggested the name Freaknik, then spelled Freaknik, as a...
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Q, Quincy Murdoch, Mr. Hold On. Hey, I'm looking for characters. I'm shooting my sequel movie to the first Quincy Murdoch the movie. I'm looking for some characters. So I'm going to drop a list of characters I need and quantities and qualities and all that. And if you think you are the one, please hit me up, QuincyMurdoch44@gmail.com, and send me your resume. If you're serious inquiries only. I have contracts on deck. If you feel like you're ready, send me your work and let's get it going. I'm looking for characters. This is urgent. So please hit me up. Quincy Murdoch, QuincyMurdoch44@gmail.com. QuincyMurdoch.com is where you can find me also. Just email me. Hit me up. All platforms. Yeah.
They wanted it to basically be a freaky picnic. That's basically why it's called Freaknik.
So how they
Freaky Picnic, Freaknik. So that's how it became.
So they was on some freaky stuff,
bruh. Evidently so.
But in that
College
documentary,
kids.
look, that documentary was trying to make it all innocent. Are we just selling good with some college kids? They couldn't afford to go home, so we tried to do an event to make some money. But see, that's what I'm saying. You got to tell the whole story.
So they saying the name Freaknik.
Oh,
the name Freaknik was inspired by Le Freak by Chic, basically. Le Freak, say Chic. Freak out. A popular song and dance from 1978. First
okay.
in John A. White Park in Atlanta.
Basically having a good time.
In
okay.
April 1982, it was attended by at most 150 students.
Okay, look, now I see because the song, they probably made it in a party way.
Yeah, freak out.
Yeah.
Say Chic.
Okay, so they probably made it as a party way, but you see how it could get thrown off just by the name, man.
Think about the people, as I said, how people change what goes things, the way the world moves. People change it. Not, the goal was that, but then of course
Luke came in,
started bringing in certain people, certain acts started coming in and switched the face of it.
2 Live Crew.
Yep.
All them.
Switched the whole face of it. So
hey.
You think about it. The black community has had a bunch of different ways to do and go at a lot of this stuff. I mean, we're not the only ones that probably have talked about Freaknik, but at this same token of talking about it, like no, like a lot of people probably didn't talk about that. People didn't bring up the situation. Oh, what did Freaknik mean to you? What was it in the 80s? Okay, then what did it turn to by the 90s? And that's the thing.
And I think it stereotypes blacks, because like I said, I told you my situation. I just came from a block party yesterday, and police nobody was doing anything bad. Everybody enjoying themselves, and police just came and harassed everybody, big guns and everything, cleared it out. So I guess they're not used to black folks just
getting together, having a peaceful, good time. You know what I'm saying? They used to some chaos going on.
Yeah.
Anytime, even if somebody gets a little loud, they think it's trouble. Like it might be screaming for enjoyment, but it's just that fear now. You know what I'm saying? That yeah, like we can't do nothing right.
Can't do
nothing.
We
can't do no right. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that in, man, because yeah, it's some history. It is some history.
I have another black person I want to talk about too, real quick. Once I go back up here to it, Thaddeus Tate, prominent black businessman, was one of Charlotte's most prominent black businessmen of his era. Tate started out by opening his own barbershop in the late 1800s.
Ooh wee! Shout out to them barbers.
Tate was also a founder of Mecklenburg Investment Company, which built the first office building in the Queen City for black businesses. Tate's contributions to the community continued with the Brevard Street Library and a branch of the YMCA for black people in Charlotte. So shout out Thaddeus Tate. This is one thing. This is one thing I'm a doggone say about this. Now, black folk, if nothing else, we're gonna have a doggone barbershop. If nothing else.
If you're running in the house, he might be in the house running it.
Look,
I pull up to you. I got the clippers.
Thaddeus Tate was, I think that I've heard of his name before too, but again, not just the case of saying, you think about it, a businessman. They didn't look at it as he was a barber or anything to that nature. He just owned his own barbershop. Think about that.
That's some money too, man. That's a good field.
At that time, you know it was a
everybody need a cut, bro. A line or something.
At the time of the 1800s, you talking about,
and people really didn't know how it wasn't even into cutting.
Charlotte,
so you were making some money. Everybody depended on barbers.
Got about 1,000 barbershops now. 1,000 of them.
He came in at the right time.
You know, in the case of what blacks have and have had over the years, if nothing else, is opportunity to become better businessmen. This is basically what I'm basically getting into with this. The reason why I want to get to him. Business in the black community has taken a seat to hard-headedness, more so. A lot of us are hard-headed to being business savvy. I'm gonna tell you, let me give an example of what I feel business savvy, what I feel is business savvy. Meaning finding a creative lane that nobody is doing and run it up. We all love to do the same thing. We love to do the same thing. We put
a million Bojangles in the same city.
Yep.
Nothing new. Nothing else new.
Everybody want a clothing store. Everybody want to sell shoes. Everybody wants to open a sports store, open a motorcycle store. I mean, these are all things that people want to open in an area, or sell cars.
So how your business gonna thrive? You got 30 other choices the same as yours, you know, like.
And some people don't even associate well with their business, and they don't even know that it's the case. Oh, they just feel like, oh, I can do this, and then so wait a minute. On the business side of it, how good are you? Really, how good are you at? Oh, I can sell cars, but
you might be good, but like I said, the competition.
Yeah,
you know, you competing with all these other companies that do the same thing.
Yep, you got to go against Ford,
and it ain't even your product. It's just too much competition. Nobody gets down to yours, and you have to try yours and stand out.
I think that comes down to, like I said, how much do you know? Like, as a businessman, like what? Let me ask you a question. How many black businesses do you think there are in states with North Carolina?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know a number, but a lot of places that I personally have walked in ran by white folks, or either Chinese, Japanese, like Asian. You know, I classify them in the same, like, Asians,
ethnic,
yeah,
background.
Asian, white. Those mainly businesses that I seen, people running. But it probably is some. Like I said, I don't know. But me walking in these places personally, that's all I see. Majority Asians, Chinese, whites running things.
And do you feel that a black person, the black community, walks in these stores, right? Do you feel that they really understand? Let's
and look, and then can I say something?
Uh-huh.
And then a lot of employees would be the same ethnicity as them. Like they have white cooks.
Yeah.
Like the bakers would be white. The cake place white. The white bakers. Mm-hmm. The Chinese people have a number of Chinese. I ain't never seen this place called Peking Shop. If you're in Statesville, you know what I'm talking about. Peking restaurant downtown Statesville. I ain't never seen a black brother or sister working there. There's always Chinese people in there. But I always come up there to get my number one, the chicken wings with the fried rice, onion rice. Yeah, but but yeah, they don't never have no brother or sister in there. Like that's another thing. So yeah, that answer your question.
Yeah, this is what I feel, and this is.
But what was you saying?
I'm basically saying they know how to sell to us.
Cause we ain't gonna think about it. We just gonna go in there and eat.
That's the hardest, but that's the hardest thing that I feel we suffer from is we take away from our own. We
won't support the black business.
We'll support it, but we don't know how to start them. So, for example, I feel like we could start a mom and pop up restaurant, right? Mm. Because the case of we know what we want. We can go to a restaurant. We know how we want that restaurant to serve us, right? Mm-hmm. But we won't even go take a chance at starting our own restaurant because we feel like, it just costs too much to do that, right? It really doesn't cost a whole lot. In the mentality of the right person, it doesn't cost a whole lot. It costs a whole lot to say that, I need a whole lot of money to go get this. But you don't know who's willing to help back you up, help you get your business started if you don't take chances and try those avenues. Mm. There are so many investors out here. In the case of, let's talk about it, businessmen. Businesses, if you're a businessman, and this is why I'm basically talking about, especially along with getting your LLCs, right? Mm. If you take the chance to be and want to be a businessman, right? Mm. The biggest thing you could do at being a businessman is finding people like-minded with you that's ready to go. Meaning, investors are great to have. Yeah. But how do you know what investors to go what doors to go knock on when it comes to somebody to invest your business, to put money behind you to help you push your business? So
you saying they gotta believe in what you're doing?
They gotta believe
the money
in
over than just somebody just investing money into it.
And then they gotta know that it's gonna make money. Cause see, the reason being is, like I said, we know how.
Same as believing in it. Cause if you don't believe it's gonna work, then you're gonna be hesitant to support that.
There
business.
you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Now see, that's the part that I'm saying. No, when you gonna jump into a business, jump in it with confidence. Jump in it, learn it so well that when they talk to you or ask you about it, once you give them the knowledge and the what you want and what you need, they're like, oh yeah, here you go. There you go. Sometimes they don't even want $1 back from it. They just want to see it thrive. You know, that's
we don't think like that. We think it's gonna cost some money.
Because we always are stuck in the dollar. We done forgot about the dream. We done started thinking about the dollar. We don't even want to think about the dream no more.
That's deep,
and
bro.
That's my thing. Woo. That's my thing. That's why most businessmen don't. I think most businessmen never get anywhere because they lose the dream, and because of they gotten sucked up into the dollar. Keep digging for investors. If you don't have any money,
so you see the dream and punching the clock, working for somebody.
Yep,
you'll see their dream.
Yep, you gonna live. You're working for their dream. That's what you're doing. You're working for their dream. Oof. And you're just basically taking care of yourself. That's it. You're not taking care of your dream unless you're putting something into your dream.
Listen, but once that goes, you lose that. What do you have? You say you working for their dream. What do you have? You put your dreams on hold.
All the way aside. You put your dreams all the way aside. It's easy to put your dreams aside when you're broke. It's easy to do it because you need the money. But the case of a businessman ain't sitting up there just constantly. Yeah, a businessman wants to make money, but at the same time, he loves the dream part of it too.
So he gonna make money and chase that dream.
He gonna love the dream. You fall in love with the dream. As they say, fall in love with the dream, man. Fall in love with it, with that part of the dream.
And that's gonna motivate you to get
The
that
work.
money and put into that dream.
To continue to keep going. It won't slow down in your mind. You won't be like, man, I ain't slowing down. If I slow down, this ain't gonna happen. And that's the case. What usually just happens. People slow down and just stop due to the case of how expensive a dream can be. So an expensive dream though is always going to it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Everybody ain't gonna be able to do it, but again, the strongest will survive. That's the only thing I say. Only the strongest will survive. Only the strongest gonna keep pushing. Only the strongest gonna keep showing up. Only the strongest gonna keep whatever happens, even if it fails and keep failing. Like I was talking about a couple episodes back, failure. Get used to failure. Get used to it because it's gonna happen. But the case is what you do when you fail is going to be the next part.
Yeah.
So we have successful businessmen. We have successful black businessmen that have paved the way for us.
You read it.
Shown us, given us, let us see it, let us feel it, let us touch it. We could do the same thing. Just be creative in it. Stop doing what Joe Schmo doing down the street. Y'all both trying to sell the same product. Do it better than he's doing it. Make it taste better than what his tastes better than. Cut better than his cut. Let your material, your cloth, your clothes be way different than theirs.
I was about to get into
Shoes,
the entertainment.
whatever it is, like
Everything is oversaturated, man.
Yeah, be
Everything
different.
sounds alike, looks
Yeah,
alike,
yeah.
and the interest is going out the window.
Yep.
And that's why you see folks canceling tours. You see them. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see a lot of people selling like that nowadays in the entertainment. We gonna talk about entertainment. You gotta be a name. You gotta be unique. It's a couple of them. Nikki is selling because she's unique. She has you know what I'm saying? A lot of them are selling, man. Certain ones though, like a lot of them ain't. You know what I'm saying?
This is
oversaturated.
This
man.
is a saturated situation. Period. Not even just music people. Black people. Find your inventive space. Find your creative space. And learn to do something that somebody has not done. That will take you a long way.
Media, everything.
That'll take you a long way. We're 30 minutes in again. And it's another Thursday coming to an end.
Friday tomorrow.
Y'all have a good weekend. Those that are traveling this weekend, be safe. If not, if we're getting close to the summertime with these kids,
Yeah.
April is getting to May is coming to a close. But again, we have a very short, one more week after this, if I'm not mistaken. This will be going into the last week of May. June. The summertime, let's turn it up a notch. Let's do some black historians.
What we gonna do?
Black historians on a different level.
Yeah.
I got a couple ideas, but again,
Father's Day is June too,
yeah.
right? Father's Day.
So it's a lot to pull out and a lot to express over the next coming months.
Independence Day, July, a lot of stuff coming up, man.
A lot of stuff
of history.
It's a lot of stuff to push for history. That can be, of course, for us, Juneteenth is going.
And a lot of people just celebrate these things and don't know the meaning, what they celebrate.
Juneteenth is something I'm gonna push this year. I got a couple angles. I'm gonna knock out Juneteenth very hard this year. I didn't have an angle on it the past couple of years, but I actually have an angle on it this year, and I'm gripping it the correct way. So, yes, definitely gonna do that. But again, Not Just Music Podcast. Y'all have a good weekend. Follow if you have not followed. Subscribe to our website, email
Clothing
list if you haven't. Merchandise. Check out everything we have. Website is always going to be available for all of that. Easy to connect there. NotJustMusicPodcast.com if you don't know it. NotJustMusicPodcast.com. Again, I'm Duan Barrino, Quincy Murdoch in the building. Y'all have a good weekend again.
Hold on.
Lastly,
It's us.
y'all be easy. Have a good one.